This is a big haul. I hope everyone's excited because I'm excited to go through all these books. We have a total of 12, I think. I think it's 12, which for me is a big haul. I'm sorry if that's not a big haul for you. It's a pretty big haul for me. I had 3 of the staff tell me how much of a big shop this was when I was in Waterstones. So I'm going to go with, it's a big haul. We have a bit of a mix of genres in this haul. There are a few books that are Jack's. I'm going to talk through them as well because, you know, he bought some books at the same time, so we may as well talk about them as well. The majority of them are mine, and there's a mix of thriller. I think I've got a few fantasy in there. I've got a few YA, so we've got a little bit of a mix. There is no non-fiction in this though. They're all fiction. If you are new, welcome. I'm Sarah. I do periodic Waterstones book hauls when I have finished my TBR, which tends to be these are the books that I'm on my TBR, but I just don't read them. I feel like we've all got books like that, but currently I've finished my TBR. I actually have started reading one of these books that is in this haul, so I can maybe chat a little bit more about it than the rest of them, because I really was at the end of my TBR. So we're gonna chat about one that I've started reading. Also have one from Amazon. That is just because Waterstones did not stock this book. It's a sequel. They didn't stock the sequel even though they stocked the first one, which I think is just weird. One of them is from Amazon. Did I finish introducing myself? I'm Sarah, hello. I mainly read thriller, a little bit of fantasy, but thriller tends to be like my genre. We do a little bit of everything on this channel, but we do Waterstones books semi-regularly, so please subscribe if you are new. But anyway, let's get on with the books. I'm going to start with the Amazon one. If you have been around since the Waterstones haul round about this time last year, I think it was actually like October, but near enough. This is the sequel to one of those books. Where is it? Here it is. Last year we had The Wrath and the Dawn. This year we have The Rose and the Dagger. This is the same series. I really enjoyed this one. Obviously this isn't a review video, so I'm not going to chat about it, but I really enjoyed this one. Really wanted to read the sequel. So we've gone to Amazon. The basic premise of this, I'll read the blurb for the first one again, because I'm not spoiling it for anyone, but I want you to get a gist of what it's about. Every dawn brings horror to a different family in a land ruled by a killer. Khalid, the 18-year-old Caliph of Khorasan, takes a new bride each night only to have her executed at sunrise. So it is a terrible surprise when 16-year-old Shahzad volunteers to marry Khalid, but she does so with a clever plan to stay alive and exact revenge on the Caliph for the murder of her best friend and countless other girls. Shazzy's wit and will get her through to the dawn that no others have seen, but with a catch. She may be falling in love with the murderer. Shazzy discovers that the villainous boy king is not all that he seems, and neither are the deaths of so many girls. It's up to her to uncover the reason for the murders and to break the cycle once and for all. It's the kind of vibe we're going for. It's YA. It is, I'd say it's fantasy. There are definitely like fantastical elements in that. It ended on a cliffhanger, so I'm very excited to start this, and I think they're beautiful. Like, look at the covers for them. Absolutely stunning. The RRP is $8.99. I will be leaving the link for this one, my affiliate link for the Amazon, for underneath. The links for all of the books, my affiliate links, will be underneath as well. So if you want to buy them, check them out. I appreciate it if you use my affiliate links, but obviously you do not have to. I also leave affiliate links for bookshop.org, which is a great website. It sells books, but then it gives a portion of its profits to local bookstores, which is obviously great because we want to support small businesses. So all the links will be left below. Right, let's get on to Waterstones. We're going to go for the one that I also, if you didn't see in the thumbnail, this did take up 2 bags, which felt pretty good, but anyway. We're going to go for the one that I've started reading, which is We Were Liars by Lockhart. That's how far I am through. I'm nearly at the end, and I've got like, let's see, I've got 40 pages left, so I'm nearly done. I'm really enjoying it. I mainly was drawn to this one because of how small it is. I am behind my reading goal this year. I'm desperate to make my reading goal. I don't know if it's going to happen, but this was a tiny book. I also like the cover, and it was in the YA section, but it is like I'd still say it's counted as a thriller. I think it's probably described more as a mystery. I'd probably describe it as a mystery rather than a thriller, but it's that kind of genre. I'll read the very, very short blurb. It is, we are liars, we are beautiful and privileged, we are cracked and broken, a tale of love and romance, a tale of tragedy. Which are lies, which is truth, you decide. So the main premise is it follows this really rich white American family, kind of like a picket fence family that like generational wealth, and every summer they go to their island. They go to their private island, and one year the main character, something happens and she can't remember what happens, and it's all about her trying to figure out what happened that summer. that's the main premise. Really, really enjoying it so far. I haven't hit the reveal yet, but I'm enjoying it. It's a really, really easy read. And this one was $7.99. I'm just gonna go with the order that the lovely lady in Waterstones packed it in the bag. The Gone and the Forgotten by Clare Whitfield. I think it's been like a week since I did this haul, and I can't remember picking this up. This is going to be a surprise for me and you. Oh, Clay, what are you doing? I can't say much about this because I can't remember picking it up, so let's just read the blurb together. Prue has grown up around secrets, her grand's stern silence, her mother's teary breakdowns, but now in the aftermath of her mum's latest episode, she decides it's time for the truth. She wants to know why her mum can't cope, but most of all, she wants to know who her dad is. I read that wrong. But most of all, she wants to know who her dad is. Sent to spend the summer with her aunt in Shetland, Prue starts digging, but once she pulls on the loose threads holding her family together, she risks unravelling them all. The Gone and Forgotten is a darkly gripping, psychological, astute thriller about the secrets that bind family together. Thrillers, I will pick up pretty much any thriller, as long as it's not a detective story. So I think that sounds great. I love the cover, it's beautiful. It is quite long. It's not like chunky, but it's chunky for a thriller. I like that it's like a psychological thriller, family. I'm excited for it. Oh, right, next up we have a Jack book. This is the Golden Enclaves. So this is the third book in the Naomi Novik series of Deadly Education. Where is it? So this is the first book, Deadly Education. Jack, my partner, he loves this series. He really, really enjoys it. It feels like it's a very type, like Harry Potter type book. It follows a school that, he's probably going to be able to describe it better, but he's not here, so let me just read the blurb. Enter a school of magic unlike you've ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only two ways out. You graduate or you die. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school, except she might accidentally kill all the other students too. So Elle is trying her hardest not to use it, that is, unless she has no other choice. It's a magical school with monsters. That sounds very high stakes. Jack raves about them, and I think I'm going to end up reading them because of how highly he rates them. This is the third and final one. It is a trilogy. The second one is green, I think. Where would that be? There. Is The Last Graduate. They are beautiful books. Let me see if I can hold them all up together. Look at them. Aren't they stunning? So nice. Really, really pretty. The third one was $9.99, but it was in the buy one get one half price, which I'm surprised at because I'm pretty sure that's pretty new. Can't really like guess what books Waterstones are going to put in the buy one get one half price. Whilst we're on Jack's books and series, this is also Jack's. So this is the third. No, we're not. He started a new one. So Jack reads Brandon Sanderson's Skyward series. That's them. Oh, you can't really see them. That's the bottom of them there. He loves them. He's reading the short stories that are in that series at the minute. And he's going to finally start the Mistborn series. Brandon Sanderson is so highly rated. He's so highly rated. Jack loves his writing in the Skyward series. Everybody goes on about him. TikTok, book community, everyone. And Mistborn tends to be his most highly rated series. So Jack's finally starting it. I think I'm going to read it as well. I think Skyward is very, very space-based. I'm not a space kind of gal. Let's read what this one's about. I've said I'm probably going to read it, but this one might be space as well. I doubt it. It's called Mistborn. For 1,000 years the ash fell. For 1,000 years the scar slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years the Lord Ruler reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Every attempt to revolt has failed miserably, yet somehow hope survives. A new kind of uprising is being planned. One that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the courage of an unlikely heroine, a Scar Street urchin who must learn to master allomancy, the power of a Mistborn. What if the prophesized hero had failed to defeat the Dark Lord? The answer will be found in the Mistborn trilogy, a saga of surprises that begins here. I'm probably going to read this one. His writing apparently is great, and everyone loves him, so finally own the Mistborn series. This was $10.99. I'm pretty sure Jack only has one book left, so I'm gonna roll with Jack's, and that is The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I picked this one up for Jack because I thought it sounds like him. I thought it sounded very similar to Deadly Education, so let me read the blurb. Quentin Clearwater is brilliant but miserable. Obsessed with the fantasy novels he reads as a child, he finds the real world just doesn't compare. Then one day it happens. He stumbles into a hidden world and is invited to join a very exclusive college where he will learn the craft of modern magic. But something is still missing, and now Quentin will do anything to find what he has always been looking for. I think that sounds great. And I think that definitely, like when I picked it up, I was like, oh, that sounds like The Last Graduate. Gave it to Jack and he was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. It's a lovely cover, absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see because of how shiny it is. I don't think I've seen anything about this anywhere, but I am a little bit out of the Booktok sphere, so tell me if I'm wrong. But again, I think this is going to be one of those ones that it's for both of us. I think it sounds really interesting. I love the idea of like that he's in a normal life and he wants to be in it and then he finds it, that type of thing. Like, you know, when you're younger and you're just like, oh, I just wish I was a magician, I just wish I'd get my Hogwarts letter. Also, I've mentioned Harry Potter a few times, so I'm just going to make my stance clear. We're not about Harry Potter here, we're not about JK. I'm aware I have the books behind me, I need to get rid of them, but no Harry Potter, but it's just because I referenced it a few times. But that type of thing where you were just wishing to be in that world, and I like the idea that that's the person it is, and then he gets it, so I really like the sound of it. Right, let's get back onto mine. Let's do the most exciting one, shall we? I'm finally gonna do it. We are doing another Sarah J. Maas. It's not, this one's I can't remember. I don't know which one's which, but we're doing another series. So I've done ACOTAR, loved it. Loved ACOTAR a lot. Got me into fantasy. I was trying to decide whether to do the Crescent City ones or a Throne of Glass. And I had both of them in my hand and I was like, oh, which one do I do? So I literally just read the blurb and I was like, which one? I'm gonna do all of them at some point. But I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to do now. And like I say, I'm behind in my reading goal. So I went for the one that sounded most interesting. This is chunky though. Like, look at the size of this. It's so big, so I'm hoping it's gonna be good. I know that one of them doesn't have any smutting. I don't know if two of them don't have any smutting. I'm a bit sad about it, I'm not gonna lie, but so I'm not expecting any smut. I'm not expecting it to be as good as ACOTAR, but I am excited to finally start one. I'm hoping I'm gonna get as engrossed as I was with ACOTAR. But let's read the blurb. Let me tell you what it's about. Bryce Quinlan lives her life. Every night is a party and Bryce is going to savor all the pleasures Lunathion, also known as Crescent City, has to offer. But when a brutal murder shakes the very foundations of the city, Bryce's world comes crashing down. 2 years later, Bryce still haunts the city's most notorious nightclubs, but seeking only oblivion now. Then the murderer attacks again, and when an infamous fallen angel, Hunt Athalar, is assigned to watch her every footstep, Bryce knows she can't forget any longer. As Bryce and Hunt fight to unravel the mystery in their own dark past, the threads they tug ripple through the underbelly of the city, across warring continents and down to the deepest levels of hell, where things that have been sleeping for millennia are beginning to stir. So I feel like that's kind of like, it is fantasy, but it feels a little bit thrillery as well, so I'm excited for it. It's actually $9.99, which is really good for like a thick book like this. I'm gonna start putting them over here because I made a pile, but that's my TBR shelf anyway. Oh, this is the thriller I'm most excited for. The Family Remains by Lisa Jewell. So The Family Upstairs, have I got that facing forward? No, it's here. I loved The Family Upstairs. It's one of my 5-star reads. I really, really enjoyed it. This is the sequel or the prequel. I'm assuming it's the sequel. I couldn't actually find anywhere that said this is the sequel to The Family Upstairs, but I'm going to assume that it is because it's literally called The Family Remains. So I'm assuming it's the sequel. I'll read the blurb. Early morning. On the foreshore of the River Thames, a bag of bones is discovered. Human bones. DI Samuel Owuzu quickly sends the bag for forensic examination. The bones are those of a young woman killed by a blow to the head many years ago. Also, inside the bag is a trail of clues which lead DI Owuzu to a mansion in Chelsea where 30 years previously, 3 people lay dead while a baby upstairs waited for someone to pick her up. 4 deaths, an unsolved mystery, a family whose secrets can't stay buried forever. I'm excited to read it. I probably am gonna 100% gonna need a little synopsis for the first book because I can't remember it all that well. Lisa Jewell for me, because obviously Lisa Jewell's a big name in the thriller sector, it's very 50-50. Some books love 5 stars, some books I'm like, oh, really? What was the green one that I loved? Invisible Girl. I was a bit like, with it. So I'm hoping this one's going to be as good as the first one, but I am really looking forward to reading it. Again, it was in the buy one get one half price section. Right, that's one bag down. We have 4 more to go. The Sanctuary by Andrew Hunter Murray. Let's read the blurb straight away. Sanctuary Rock is a perfect place. The remote island is owned by a wealthy philanthropist who is building a brand new world on the ruins of the old one. Ben only came to the island to bring his fiancée Cara home, but when he arrives, he is rapidly seduced by the vision of a better way of life, as described by the charismatic and mysterious Sir John. Before long, he decides to stay, but the island holds darker secrets than Ben could ever have suspected. Then he learns the only route back to the mainland is about to close for good, and his own life may be in terrible danger. Thrillery. I like the idea of that. I felt like it was kind of like a cross between Shutter Island and then the Sanatorium. I always get the name wrong. And it felt kind of culty but like new worldy. I like the sound of it. And it's a nice size as well. It's a nice size thriller. Again, in the buy one get one half price. There was quite a few of the books that we picked up were in the buy one get one half price, but it's a good deal. You can't say no to it. Right, we have 2 TikTok books and then we have 1 book that I'm just so excited to show you because it's so freaking beautiful. Let's go with first Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I freaking adore her writing. I love her books. I normally save them for holidays, so this one might not be read for a little while because I just devour them on holidays. My favourite book ever is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You might be able to see the top of her there. Absolutely adore. And obviously I have read Malibu Rising, which is where Carrie Soto is first mentioned, I believe. So I am looking forward to reading it. I love these covers as well. I know they are so controversial, but I love these covers. Like the Malibu Rising is similar to this. Where is it? Like I have all of them in this style. So that's my Daisy Jones, and then very like similar vibes. I really, really like these covers, and I know that's controversial. So premise for this one is Carrie Soto is the greatest player the world has ever seen, but 6 years after her last match, she watches a young British tennis player steal her world record, and Carrie knows she has to go back and reclaim her rightful place at the top, even if the world doesn't believe in her, even if it almost breaks her. This is a story about the cost of greatness and the burden of fame. The fight for a place in history is about to begin. So I'm assuming this is set after Malibu Rising because she's still like in a game, like she's at like a top popularity in Malibu Rising, so I'm assuming you got to read that before you read this. You might not have to, you might be able to figure out what's going on, but I'd maybe recommend reading Malibu Rising before reading this one. Next TikTok book is Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I have seen this so much. I feel like this is one of the most highly rated books I've seen on TikTok, apart from maybe Fourth Wing. I was gonna buy Fourth Wing, but I don't own hardbacks. Like I don't own many, if any, of like fiction, so I'll wait until it comes back on paperback. But apart from Fourth Wing, I feel like this is the highest rated book I've ever seen on it. And when I was in Waterstones, I had 2 different members of staff being like, that is a brilliant book, that is so freaking good. So we're gonna take everybody's judgment and actually read it because everybody says it's incredible. This is the story of Sam and Sadie. It's not a romance, but it is about love. When Sam catches sight of Sadie at a crowded train station one winter morning, he is catapulted back to the brief time they spent playing together as children. Their unique spark is instantly reignited. What comes next is a story of friendship and rivalry, fame and creativity, betrayal and tragedy, perfect worlds and imperfect ones, and ultimately our need to connect, to be loved and to love. I'm hoping it's not, it sounds like a romance. Romance isn't really my vibe, but everybody loves it. I hope it's not going to be like Normal People, because I didn't rate Normal People. It just didn't have a, like, I need like storyline, whereas Normal People was very like, I hope people get when I say that. So I'm hoping this is going to be maybe a little bit more like exciting, but it's got things on the front like John Green says this is one of the best books I've ever read. We're gonna go with it's gonna be great, and I'm just gonna throw myself into it and hopefully I enjoy it. Last one, right. This the main reason I bought this book is not for the plot, I'm not gonna lie. It's freaking beautiful. I have my prettiest books facing forward, as you can see, and my favourite books are my prettiest books. So there's like the Merciless ones, I don't know if you can see this one, no, but the Familiars, they're beautiful. This book is going to be displayed, but I have no idea how it's going to be displayed, and that'll make sense in a minute. So look at how stunning that is. Absolutely beautiful, but wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, look at that. Like, that is rare. Like, what the... It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Some of the favourite books that I own are coloured sides, and I've gone about it. If you've watched a few of my Waterstones haul, you'll know I love them. Absolutely adore them. Like, yeah, Merciless one is red, love it. Gilded ones is blue, I think. I don't know where that is. This is the thing with having coloured coordinated books. You can't find them. But I frickin' love coloured spines. But this is like, that's just stunning. Look at that. Oh, best decision. Susan Dennard, you smashed it, because frickin' beautiful cover. And then that, I picked it up because I was like, that cover's beautiful. It was on a table. I was like, that cover's beautiful. Read the blurb. I was like, oh, actually, that does sound quite good. And then turned it and I was like, absolutely, not even a thought, we're buying it. Let's read the blurb, shall we? We'll finally get on to what the story is actually about, because, you know, you're not meant to judge a book by its cover. But when it's that pretty, you can't not. Hemlock Falls isn't like other towns. You won't find it on a map, your phone won't work here, and the forest outside town might kill you. Winnie Wednesday wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects humanity from the nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls each night. Ever since her father was exposed as a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned, but on her 16th birthday she can take the deadly Luminary Hunter trials and restore her family's good name, or die trying. In order to survive, Winnie must enlist the help of the one person who can train her, Jay Friday, resident bad boy and Winnie's ex-best friend. While Jay might be the best hunter in Hemlock Falls, he also knows more about the forest's nightmares than he should, and together he and Winnie will discover a danger lurking in Hemlock Falls that no one is prepared for. Not all monsters can be slain, and not all nightmares are confined to the dark. That sounds great. That sounds spooky. I do like the idea of horror and spooky books, but I get spooked very easily. And this was in the fantasy section, so I'm going to assume that it's not that spooky. Might be a little bit though. I'm hoping it's going to be good, because I will rave about this book to everyone just because of this. But I'm really excited to read that. It's a really nice like thickness as well. Not that there's nothing wrong with thick books, but just for, like, even look at the chapter things. The little chapters have got like little, I can't remember what they're called, but little drawings. Oh, it's so beautiful. I hope it doesn't rub off when I'm reading. But I'm very excited by this. I've just looked in the front and it says, it's got the also by Susan Dennard. It says it has all of the names have witch in, so I'm assuming maybe her other book is like a series and this is maybe a first standalone, so I'm excited. But my thing is, how do I display it? Do I display it like that? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna display it like that. It's so good. Anyway, that is the end of this haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please can you leave that a like, subscribe if you're new, comment, all the engaging things. It just really helps my channel grow, and I've been doing YouTube for quite a while, and it would be lovely to have you here. Like I say, all of the links will be down below, and I'll be reviewing all of them in my end of year video where I review all the books that I've read in the year, because I will be making that read and go, so I will have read all of them. So make sure you subscribe for that, but even if you don't, that's fine. Thank you so much for watching it and making it to the end, but I shall hopefully see you in another video. Bye!